Man's curiosity to know what he doesn't know is really uncontrollable. Now man has sent telescopes to the space and is peeping into the worlds hitherto unknown, the origin of the world, the pre-Big Bang situations. Now we want to know what is not known to us. Welcome once again to News Analysis. News Analysis, a weekly magazine on current affairs. To begin with, the main points in a nutshell. South Africa, Australia and New Zealand will host the biggest radio telescope ever built. Vatican detains Pope Butler as suspect in leaks probe. Station grabs SpaceX Dragon ship. Egypt election rivals claim run-off places. France's Holland defends early Afghan troop pullout. Air India pilots ready for talks to end strike. And now the news in detail. South Africa, Australia and New Zealand will host the biggest radio telescope ever built. The nations belonging to the Square Kilometre Area (SKA) organization took the decision at a meeting on Friday. The 1.5 billion euro SKA's huge field of antennas will sweep the sky for answers to the majority outstanding questions in astronomy. They will probe the early universe, test Einstein's theory of gravity, and even search for alien intelligence life. The project aims to produce a radio telescope with combined collecting area of 1 million square meters, equivalent to about 200 football pitches. To do this, it will have to combine the signals received by thousands of small antennas spread over thousands of kilometers. Sharing the wealth of South Africa and Australia had put forward separate competing bids, and early indications had been that there would be one outright winner. But the SKA's organization decided both proposals should contribute something to the final design of the telescope. We have decided on dual-side approach, said SKA board chairman Professor John Womersley. He was speaking at a news conference held at Amsterdam's Schiphol airport following a meeting of the organization's members in the Dutch capital. The decision to use two sites will undoubtedly increase the cost and complexity of the SKA. Its targets will be radio sources in the sky that radiate at centimeter to meter wavelengths. These include the clouds of hydrogen gas in infant universe and that collapsed to form the very first stars and galaxies. The SKA will map precisely the positions of the nearest billion galaxies. The structure they trace on the cosmos should reveal new details about the dark energy, the mysterious negative pressure that appears to be pushing the universe apart at an ever-increasing speed. The telescope will also detail the influence of magnetic fields on the development of stars and galaxies. And it will zoom in on pulsars, the dead stars that emit beams of radio waves that sweep across Earth like super-accurate time signals. Astronomers believe these dense objects may hold the key to a more complete theory of gravity than proposed by Einstein. Vatican detains Pope Butler as suspect in leaks probe. The Vatican says it has detained a person suspected of leaking a series of confidential documents and letters to the media. Reports citing unnamed sources said he was Pope's personal butler. The WikiLeaks scandal, as it's known, has enraged the Holy See. The leaks have revealed alleged corruption, mismanagement, and internal conflicts. The Vatican said the person detained was being questioned by Vatican magistrates. Last month, Pope Benedict XV set up a special commission of cardinals to investigate the leaks. The inquiry carried out by Vatican police allowed them to identify someone in possession of confidential documents, Vatican spokesman Federico Lombardi told journalists. This person is currently being questioned. Poison pen memos. Italian media have named the arrested man as Paolo Gabrielli, a personal butler and assistant to the Pope and one of the very few laymen to have access to Pope's private apartments. Among the select number who are allowed to enter the Pope's private study include 4 nuns and 2 secretaries, as well as the butler. Italian media reports said that a stash of confidential documents had been discovered at his flat within the walls of the Vatican. The news of the arrest comes just a day after the president of the Vatican Bank, Ettore Tedeschi, was ousted by his board. The official reason for his departure was his failure to fulfill the primary functions of his office, the Vatican has said. But according to reports, he was also suspected of being involved in the leaking of the documents. Mr. Tedeschi said he had been punished for his attempt to make the bank more open. I have paid for my transparency, he told Reuters. The WikiLeaks scandal has filled Italian media, dominating the columns of Italian newspapers and filling TV programs and magazines. The press reporter David Willi in Rome says the leak of a string of highly sensitive internal documents from inside the Vatican's Secretariat of State, including personal letters to Pope Benedict XV, has been an evident embarrassment to the Pope, prompting the rare investigation. The leaked documents include a letter to the Pope Benedict by the Vatican's current ambassador to Washington, alleging cronyism, nepotism and corruption among the administrators of Vatican City. Others concern poison pen memos criticizing Cardinal Tarcisio Bertone, the Pope's number 2, and reporting of suspicious payments by Vatican Bank. Our correspondent explains that if the person detained is a layman, he will be put on trial in Italy under Italian criminal law. But if he is a churchman, he could be tried for breaching the ecclesiastical law by a Vatican tribunal, though this will be extremely rare. Station grabs SpaceX Dragon ship. The California SpaceX company has been its unmanned Dragon cargo ship attached successfully to the International Space Station, ISS. Astronauts on board the platform used its robotic arm to grasp the vehicle and attach it to the berthing part. Dragon is the first commercial vessel to visit the space station. It is also the first American ship to go to the orbiting laboratory since the U.S. space agency, NASA, retired its shuttles last year. U.S. astronaut Don Petty was inside the ISS at the controls of Canadarm2. He reached out with a robotic appendage and grabbed the Dragon capsule at 13:56 GMT. Houston, looks like we got us a Dragon by tail. He radioed to NASA Mission Control in Texas. The capture was met by applause from the controllers at the NASA Center at the SpaceX HQ in Hawthorne, California, where Dragon's flight is also being overseen. Just under 2 hours later, Pettit used the arm to position the Dragon under the ISS Harmony connecting node. A good seal was confirmed at 16:02 GMT. The ISS crew will go inside the ship on Saturday to unload its stores. The attachment of Dragon to the platform marks a significant milestone in the history of human spaceflight. Traditionally, the field of endeavor has been the pursuit of government-owned and operated vehicles. But the U.S. Space Agency NASA is looking to save money that it can then reinvest in some of its other programs far beyond Earth and asteroids and Mars. It believes this can be achieved by contracting out more routine tasks in low Earth orbit to the private sector. To that end, it is providing seed funding of approximately $800 million to SpaceX and another company, Orbital Sciences Corporation, to help them develop a new rocket and cargo vehicles.